Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since I've done a video. Part of me was thinking about just basically retiring and being done with this YouTube thing. But Nintendo, as always, man, Nintendo always sucks me back in. Every time I think, yeah, I'm probably gonna be done with video games, everything's just gray and boring and dull. Oh, look, and they come out with like New Super Mario Brothers U, and they show me Zombie U and all that stuff like that for the Wii U, and it's like you just draw me right back in. Um, So yeah, Nintendo drew me back in with the Switch too. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about it. It's probably gonna be a long video. Very excited about it, and I just wanted to go ahead and just share my thoughts with you about it. Apologize for being a little bit of a mess. Um, but let's go ahead and talk about it. You're welcome to share your opinions in the comments down below. Love to hear what you guys have to think. If you even saw the direct, I know it's early for some people, but man, was that exciting. Pretty much everything that I thought that they were going to do with the Nintendo Switch 2. At least everything that I was comfortable with. Now, I was surprised at the camera, personally. I thought it was going to be something that was going to go directly on top of the system, not its own little separate thing that has a stand, but hey, it's cool. And I like the fact that it's being optional because some people, like myself, have kids who are young and maybe don't need to be on camera. But it's great that it's there, and it's great that they also allow you to basically use it as just a charging thing. I like the fact that it has a mic. I like everything that they showed off with the Nintendo Switch 2. The mouse control is just wonderful. I think it's going to add a lot to games, especially games that we already know exist, like Metroid Prime 4 coming to Nintendo Switch 2, right? Just being able to play these games with mouse controls, like it's, you won't be able to use a keyboard, but still have to use movement like this and play like this. But it's still going to be interesting to try, right? But, man, oh man, did they come out the gate swinging. I think this is Nintendo basically saying, look, you don't have to worry about us. I remember with the Nintendo Switch, it kind of felt bare. There were some great games, but they relied a lot on, like, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, Mario. They even had to show off a new IP, like ARMS. It seemed like they were more focused on them. I don't remember them showing too many third party. But this time, they showed like every third party, man. Like Elden Ring, Cyberpunk, Split Fiction. I had to think of the name for a moment. Civilization. Every game that you can think of. And probably every game that has been recently announced as coming out for consoles is coming to Switch 2. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Borderlands 4, it's coming. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, man. About how, like, just wait. Usually Nintendo has barrenness for a reason. It's because the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be the ultimate system. Like, why play anything else, right? Like, because not only can you now play games like Elden Ring on the go, play games like Cyberpunk on the go, play these games on the go, but when you're home, you can play them with mouse controls without having to have a dedicated PC. Or if you're just the kind of person that you just want to just play like this, and yeah, I think it's going to be great. Plus, also, of course, Nintendo showed off some of their exclusive stuff. Of course, I just mentioned Metroid Prime 4. They showed off the Mario Party Jamboree. They showed off what Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are going to look like. They have an upgrade pack, of course, to make these games run better, look better. I like the fact that the system is 1080p. And with the dock, it's going to go up to 4K, up to 120 frames a second, and has HDR. Everything, again, that I want from this system, right? It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Everything that I could potentially ask for from the Switch successor. Just continue to give us those games. And man, did you give us those games. An exciting, awesome-looking new Donkey Kong game, Donkey Kong Bonanza. An awesome and exciting-looking new entry in Mario Kart. A brand new IP sort of tech demo. I think they called it Welcome Tour. I still think that should be a built-in game like Astrobot was, or like Astro's Playroom was, I should say, where it's like it can just tell you, hey, this is what the features of the Switch 2 are, and here's like where the magnets are located and how they work, and that would have been nice to have used and have it be built in. But I understand that it's a digital game you can buy if you want to. The fact that they like it was everything that I knew it was going to be. The C button is game chat. It brings up, everybody down in the bottom, and you just chat with them. You've got the camera. It shows you on the camera. You can game share and jump into somebody else's screen and watch them and help them out. You can you can share your game with other people if you got like other Switches in the house and stuff like that. It's everything that I was expecting. So there's no surprises here. I don't think they really talk too much about price. I imagine that's coming. But I love the fact that they also left some stuff open. But you can also kind of figure stuff out. Like, what do I mean by they left some stuff open? Well, one thing that they didn't talk about was, like, they showed, for example, the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro Controller as having the paddles on the back, right? The GL and the GR, as they call it. And they said this is for additional functionality. Now, I imagine they just mean mapping. Like, you can probably remap A and B to there for games where you want to, like, jump or, do whatever, but you don't want to have to necessarily reach forward. Maybe you don't want to reach forward for L and R, so you remap it to there. That's what I imagine it's for, but it would have been nice to confirm. But yeah, everything that there was, I kind of almost laughed a little bit, especially when they started to show off some of the Mario Party Jamboree stuff, where it's just like, this is what the upgrade pack's going to get you, is all these new games that use the mouse. And I mean, you mean like a touchscreen? And it's just like, oh, now you can play games with your voice using the microphone and using the camera. Huh. If only there was a system that came out that had a microphone and a camera already built in. Oh, that was the Wii U. Anyways, it's funny how Nintendo comes back to the old ideas. But it's still exciting. I don't think that they ever mentioned anything about a price. I know that I had some issues with my live stream, probably just because everybody's trying to jump in and watch it, where I had to like leave for 30 seconds to come back in. So unless they talked about it in that really brief window, I didn't notice anything about price. But I think the biggest announcement of all was the last one was Donkey Kong Bonanza, but one of the last ones that they announced from their third-party developers was that From Software is giving them their own game. Do you know how big of a deal that is? Like, not only are you getting Elden Ring for Switch 2, but you're getting an original From Software game, specifically for Switch 2. Now, whether this is a timed exclusive and it's something that's going to change down the road, only time will tell, because it's very much possible that From Software will probably want to release that game later for other developers, or maybe they just want to have a working relationship with Nintendo and be like, let's bring these games over, So yeah, really interesting stuff. I'm really excited about the Switch 2, and it's coming sooner than expected. I believe they said it was June 7th. I have to double check the date. But it's basically right around the corner. Like, within a couple of months. So it's very exciting to see. And you're going to get GameCube. You're going to get GameCube on the Nintendo Switch Online app. Which, speaking of the online app, now that I think about it, they're finally going to use it. What I mean by that is because now the game chat seems to have moved into the actual user interface of the system, which I wish they would have shown the user interface also, but I imagine it's not going to be anything different or groundbreaking from what the Switch UI already looks like. It's probably going to be like the Series X was, where you went from an Xbox One to a Series X. It looked the exact same, just a little crisper, because now it's in 4K or, whatever. They're actually going to use it, meaning that they showed off with Tears of the Kingdom, or maybe it was Breath of the Wild. It was one of them, right? Where it's not going to have like a Zelda's Notes app, right? And when you install that, it shows you all the Korok seeds, and you click on one and it says go north. So it's going to help you find the Korok seeds. It's going to be a companion app, which is what it should have been to begin with, like they did with Animal Crossing, where you can get different kind of things and use your Nook phone to. It should have been that from the beginning. It should never have been used for voice. So hopefully Nintendo keeps that going forward using the Nintendo Switch app, which they said they're going to name it. They're going to rename it to the Nintendo Switch app. It's no longer going to be the Nintendo Switch Online app, which means that it sounds like it's going to be used for more offline functionality. And again, it sounds like it's going to be used for more in-game support, which is what it should be used for. I kind of see it being used as like those little the little game help cards that come up on the PS5. That's what I imagine it's going to be. It's going to be the kind of thing where maybe players can go in there and be sort of like the Miiverse kind of thing, where it's just like you can leave little tidbits and helpful stuff to help people play games. I don't know. Only time will tell. They didn't really go over a whole lot. That's weird to say that in 1 hour, they went over so much, but they didn't go over a whole lot because there's still so much to talk about. Like, how's the app going to work? Outside of just that. How is transferring between, a game between Switch 1 and Switch 2 going to work? There's so much stuff on the back end, but none of that is relevant now. What they did show off was exciting. What they did show off has got me just pumped for gaming again, ready to go, ready to get this thing, ready to just work my butt off to get whatever money I need to get this thing as soon as possible. And yeah, just to play it, enjoy it, and have a good time with it. I'm ready, man. This is everything that I was hoping that it was going to be, and more. And also, I'm just excited that Nintendo's coming out the gate swinging. That they're saying, hey, we're getting every game. Like, any game you can think of is probably coming to this thing. I think they announced so much. I can't remember all the third-party titles that they announced, because it felt like it was every third-party game you could think of. Plus the exclusive stuff, a new Donkey Kong game, a new Mario Kart game, old games like Tears of the Kingdom being upgraded to working, Metroid Prime 4 being able to go up to 4K, 60 frames a second, or 1080p, 120 frames a second. Yeah, man. Exciting stuff, exciting time, at least for me as a Nintendo lover. This is the reason why I love Nintendo. I feel like they always deliver what I expect from a system, keeping it simple but fresh and unique in their own way. But it also feels like it's better, because it wasn't like, oh, here's ARMS and, just look at the movement. Yeah, sure, they focused a lot on the mouse controls, but I really think that that's going to be really cool to use for certain games down the road. Like, again, if they bring like a Baldur's Gate, for an example, that game working with a mouse would probably be really, really cool. But that's just my 2 cents. This video took way longer than what I was thinking, just because I had so much stuff to process, and just so much stuff to talk about, so much exciting stuff. And I'm probably going to be just keeping my ear to the ground when it comes to this. But hopefully, this will rejuvenate me to come back to the channel more and just give you guys more content, because I've been meaning to. But like I've talked about in previous videos, it's just so hard when you have other content creators out there that go out there, they talk about a lot of the same stuff in a similar fashion, and usually they're better articulated than I am. But what did you guys think of the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal? Or if you haven't watched it yet, I'm sorry if I've spoiled anything, but hopefully the stuff that I talked about gets you really excited for this console, because I know I am. And I hope that you guys have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. And if I continue to do this channel, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.